Good day, everyone. Just thought I'd come on again to answer some questions. One kind of stood out to me was about UFOs, things of that nature. Extraterrestrial life. I guess if we ever get a lot of people asking me about that, not so much me. They asked Howard, asked me what Howard may have said about it. So I can only just give back what Howard said about when he was asked Jesus if it existed, if we've been in contact with them, or if they've been in contact with us. Will we ever be in contact with them? Will we ever coexist? So on and so forth. Great questions I found, because it's always something I always wanted to know about. So why not ask the guy who asked the guy, right? Which is Howard asking Jesus. So I thought I'd share what Howard told me about that. I'm sure you guys could probably see some of that on his videos, but I don't know if he talks a whole lot about that, or if he just gives the basic account of what it was for him when Jesus explained it to him. So what I remember Howard telling me about it was UFOs do exist, like extraterrestrial does exist, the extraterrestrial life, sorry. I'm just driving right now, so I'm trying to focus on the road and talk to my cell phone, I guess, but trying to reach people. But yeah, so it does exist. The world, or the galaxy existence, other galaxies, they're polluted with life. And Howard said he had been to quite a few of those. Jesus actually took him to different planets and showed him life forms. Now he compared it to Star Wars. If anybody's familiar with Star Wars, which I am, I was one of those guys, a bit of a Star Wars nerd, but not so much now. But I was then. But so if you ever watched Star Wars, you look at the different planets that the various characters went to on that, like the main characters. They go to different planets to be intelligent life form there, but some of them would be humanoid, some of them would be, eyes and ears and a nose and hands, but they wouldn't be as human as you and I. And by the end of it, he said that he was basically okay. He said to Jesus, "I think I've seen enough," and it became kind of, the creatures were not something that he could, at least he didn't explain exactly what they looked like to me, but he used that comparison. So, my mind first, naturally goes to, well, are they good beings? Are they bad beings? Evil? Whatever. Does evil exist on other planets? Do they have a saint of their own? Or an evil one, or an enemy, whatever? And he did tell me that there's influence of evil everywhere, not just our planet. So, I guess we're not alone there. But a lot of these beings are, they've elevated, like they've had a lot more time, I guess, than we did, so that they can achieve sainthood, as we understand it anyways. So they've come to realize that, if you want to flourish and you want to carry on as a race, in your existence on your planet, destroying it and destroying each other is not the way to do it. So yes, he had experienced UFOs, not so much UFOs, but alien life form, and he explained to me that a lot of the times they don't come here. Well, they actually all the time don't come here, except for the ones that are, I guess we classify them as holy beings. So those ones don't come here because we're a lower level than them. Kind of like, I think he termed it as if they are like, doctor's degrees, and we're like still in elementary school as a planet. We're one of the lower planets, one of the planes of existence. So we don't, they don't want to come here because they feel like we need to achieve something that they have that I don't know if it's a fear of infection, if they're afraid that by coming here it might rub off on them, and then some of them carry it back to their own planet and then end up destroying their planet. That kind of makes sense to me, but I'm not sure if that's what he was alluding to. Also, there's ones that do come here from different dimensions, which to me, I don't really comprehend that, because if they're in a different dimension, how can they come here? That's like us being able to step into the spiritual world as we are right now. To my knowledge, we can't do that. Like, I can't go step onto the other side of Earth. Like, I can't go to heaven or hell right now. I mean, if I died, I could, but I can't do that in this physical form that I'm aware of. I mean, to me, I don't know how there's a way to do that, but apparently, according to Howard, they figured out a way to do that so they can come to this dimension. And Jesus told him that they have zero like zero good intentions for us. They don't have anything good for us. They're bad beings, and we're to have nothing to do with them. To elaborate on that, I'm assuming that Christ doesn't approve of that. Has Christ been to their planet and every other planet? Yes, Howard has told me that every planet that has intelligent life form on it has had a visit from Jesus. I don't really 100% recall if he went into the form of what those creatures might have been, or those humanoids might have been, or those beings were, like if he took on their form. I would assume that it would just make logical sense to me that he did do that, because if he showed up there looking like you and I, and these creatures look like some of the Star Wars creatures I've seen, I don't know how they could relate. But again, I'm not God. His thoughts are not mine. So I just I believe that, yeah, every planet has needed a Savior or Christ, and Jesus went to each one. Those ones there, I believe, from what I got from Howard, are the ones that have accepted the way of Jesus Christ, or at least their Messiah, and elevated themselves to that status where they don't, wars, evil, it's not there anymore. Again, that's just me assuming. I can't say Howard said that, but he may have, I don't recall. But that's what he told me about extraterrestrial life form, that it does exist. The ones that are trying to contact Earth, we're not to have anything to do with them. Right out of the mouth of Jesus Christ, to Howard, to me, now to you. So, yeah, it's interesting stuff. Like I gotta say, I've always kind of had a fascination with extraterrestrial life forms, because, or at least the possibility of one, because I always thought this world, compared to the vastness of space, doesn't seem like it would be fair for us to be the only ones. But again, that's just my thought pattern. You don't have to agree with it. I don't know, but I just feel that way. The ones that come here to have nothing to do with them, I guess, if Jesus Christ told us to do that, we shouldn't do it. We shouldn't be. Watch it, kid. Sorry, guys. I got some kids driving in front of me. I damn near hit that one. Nobody get off the road. Anyways, sorry about that. I road rage, I guess. But when you're driving past somebody and they try to rip their bike out in front of you, it's annoying. But I'm one to kind of talk about that. I get hit by a car when I was 10 years old on a skateboard by not paying attention, or being dumb, I guess. And but I was 10. This guy looks like he's about 17, 16 maybe. Anyways, rambling about that. So back to the UFO topic. Yes, it does exist. I don't know. I'm still kind of struggling with what Howard said, that Jesus told him not to have anything to do with them. I do believe that. I don't think that they could probably do too good for us. I could be wrong. I mean, why bother coming here if we're a planet, according to Howard, that needs to be quarantined? That if we're such a lower level and these beings are of such higher intelligence, why would they need to come here? Maybe for our resources. Maybe that's why we're to stay away from them, because maybe they need to take from us what they don't have on their planet. Or maybe they're just evil beings that want to see us crumble. I don't know. That want to see us being wiped out of existence. Or maybe they're just, maybe they're control freaks. Maybe they're prideful. Maybe they're like the enemy, that they just want to see destruction happen. I don't know, but I do believe that they do come here, especially in Canada. If you read a lot of the reports, there's a lot of people in Canada that have reported UFO sightings. I don't know about alien abductions per se, but I just don't know much about the topic. But basically what I do know is what I've seen on Unsolved Mysteries, or I've read a little bit about it, not much, but it does intrigue me. Going to another planet would be cool as far as I'm concerned. However, I'm not too worried about it. Like if I don't ever get to go to one, which I can't see how I ever would. But so they do exist, UFOs, and aliens. We're not supposed to contact them. We're not supposed to have any contact with the ones that come here. I've said this already. The ones that don't come here, the ones that only want to see us, prosper and do well, wait till we get up to a certain level where they can intervene and talk to us and help us. They're the ones that are staying kind of at arm's length right now. They're the ones that are just waiting until, I'm not sure, maybe till Jesus Christ gives them the go-ahead to come here and help us, show us the better way to live. I don't know, but Howard did tell me that when I asked him, are we going to be able to ever have interdimensional travel? He said Jesus told him that we wouldn't need it. because there'll come a time in human history that we'll be able to telepathically speak to each other, and that includes across the galaxy. So we'll be able to communicate that way. We wouldn't need to do the actual physical transport from here to there, which to me, it's, yeah, that's cool that we can do that, but at the same time, there's nothing better than a physical interaction, at least not for me. You know, for example, when I'm texting when I'm texting Katie, or I'm texting, you know, my kids, that's nice that we can communicate, but it's also nice when I can get home and hug them, kiss them. So, not that I do that often because I'm not a hugger and kisser, but the odd time. And it's to me, physical contact is better than spiritual contact, not spiritual, but telepathical telepathy, you know. But again, that's just where I'm standing right now, out of ignorance, I guess, because I have never really not that I'm aware of, ever telepathically spoken to anybody. So, but that, I thought that was kind of cool that we're going to be able to do that, and be able to learn from these beings. I even believe personally that we can learn from the ones that are coming here now. Learn what not to do, maybe. You know, but again, when Jesus Christ gives you, you know, an order, I don't know if it was necessarily an order, but at least a suggestion, that I like to listen to him, because he's only ever done good by me. Why would I go against somebody with a track record of helping me? So I listen to him. I do what I'm told, because he has my best intentions at heart. He has your guys' at heart as well. So I don't know. As far as UFOs go and extraterrestrial life, that's what I remember Howard telling me about that. That's not my, I'm not the one who said that. I'm just repeating what he said. If you want more, you could watch some of our videos, because I do believe he did touch on some of that stuff in some of our videos. You know, the guy's a vast amount of knowledge about various things, but Howard's getting older too, so you know, I don't think his health's the best. I could be wrong. I just don't know. I haven't been speaking to him a whole lot, but just because I backed off of him, I don't want to add pressure to the man. I noticed since his new book come out, there's a lot of people contacting him, and I do see that he's got a lot of videos coming out, and so to me that tells me that he's already busy enough, and I don't feel the need to reach him anymore right now anyways. I mean, we're still friends, we're still, you know, we've developed a friendship that I think is going to last at least the rest of my life, and I think that it's probably better that I just hold off on messaging him and trying to get him to come on. You know, if the guy was 20 years younger maybe, but he's pretty busy now. His health is, as far as I know, not the best, so I'm not going to add to that. So you know, I'm hoping to have more people on my channel. I do have a gentleman by the name of Vinny. His last name's eluding me right now. I like the fact that he's willing to come on. He's a busy man, so I had to schedule some time in with him for middle of December, I think it was, the 19th maybe, so we're going to have a video out then. Vinny something, I'll try to remember that name and put it in the description. One of my viewers recommended him to me, and I reached out to him, and him and his wife and I kind of come together and talked about a time to do it. His beliefs are, they're very, how do I put it without condemning the guy before I even do a video with him? It's not that I'm trying to condemn him by any means, but they're not the same as Howard's. Let's put it that way. They're very similar from what I saw on, you know, other videos of his, to the gentleman that I had on the channel about, I don't know, 2 months ago maybe. And his name was, man, I'm sorry about names. I run a business here, and I talk to so many people in the run of the day that I forget my own name half the time. So ask my kids, they'll tell you. I call them by the wrong names all the time, but so I'm bad with names, and I apologize for that. I should be more professional than that, but I know his name was John something. I'll have to get that in the description as well. Vinny's his testimony is very similar to his, not exact, but very similar, so that's intriguing to me, because it's like you have these near-death experiences that are out there giving their account of what happened, and I believe them 100%. Not everybody. There's people I've contacted that after speaking with them, I thought, no, there's no way I want this person to be on my channel, because they're a bullshitter. They're lying about their testimonies, maybe for fame or fortune or something. I don't know what their end goals are, but maybe for recognition. And if they did have some type of experience, I think they probably added to it. They've convoluted it so much that it's not the truth anymore. You know, like, that's why I always try to stay kind of like what Howard did. His story hasn't really changed. It's not changed at all from anything I could find. If somebody out there could show me where Howard Storm changed his story, I'd love to see it, because it hasn't changed like I say, if you can show me otherwise, I'm willing to look at it. But there's people out there that they add to their story, they take away from their story, they completely alter their story. You know, I won't give any names here at the risk of sounding like a hater, but there's a particular lady I've reached out to, and I read her book a few years ago now, 20 some years ago, long before I was saved. But for some reason I just read the book. I think it was my mother read it first, and then I thought, what the hell, I'll read it. I read it. Good book, good message. But from that point, she was telling an experience she had, and I believe her. But till now, no, her story has completely changed. Almost completely two different stories. Like if you sat down and listened to her back when her story first came out, and then you sat down and listened to her tell her story today, it's like two people telling a separate story. So I don't want her on my channel. Thought about it. You know, she's well recognized. I thought about getting her on. But I also felt like it wouldn't be doing any justice for myself or for her, because who I am as a human being sometimes shows through my videos, and it's not always the best person in the world. Especially when I feel like I'm being lied to, or at least deceived. Maybe they're not even feeling like they're lying, because pathological people actually believe what they're saying to you. So giving them a lie detector test would be pointless, because they could pass it, because they believe it. Even though it's not true, they believe it. So a person like that, I don't really, you know, I don't want to have any, I don't want to keep company with them. But I'm not bad-mouthing people. God love them. I pray for them, and I pray that, you know, the Holy Spirit would open their eyes and, you know, help them see the error of their ways. And I believe sometimes too, this is just my honest opinion, might be completely off the mark, but it's just how I feel, that some people that do have near-death experiences become targeted by the enemy twice as much as you and I. I think he puts a lot more pressure to them, because he doesn't want the truth out. So he's going to attack somebody who has shown the absolute truth as far as Jesus Christ goes. And because of that, maybe their stories do alter, maybe their stories do change, because you know, you got the enemy who's a master manipulator, able to kind of lead you and change your story from what it actually, you know, may have actually been. So you know, I feel like they're not to be hated, is my point. They're not to be looked down upon. They're not to be cast aside. They're lost, you know, which we all have a certain amount of lostness to us. But I don't know. I would say just pray for them. Pray for anybody who has a story that is altered completely, that became a, you know, a lie. And if that's the case, God love them, because I think that they're gonna have to face God someday, myself included. And I try to keep my story of why I feel like I was saved pretty much as accurate as I can, because, you know, a liar has to have a very good memory. I was once told that, which I believe to be the truth, because you have to be able to remember what you said. And if it's a lie, it can be forgotten, but the truth can't be forgotten. That's the funny thing about the truth, you know. You know, something that happened to me, say 35 years ago, if it was the truth, I could still tell you pretty much to verbatim what happened. But if I added things to it or took things away, which I'm guilty of doing sometimes, quite often actually, my wife, or Katie, calls me out on that quite a bit. She always says, "Oh, stop bullshitting, you're adding to the story now." I'm like, ah, damn, I am too, you're right, sorry. But you know, we all have that certain amount of feeling where we want to be the hero of our stories. Shouldn't be like that, but that's one of the things I struggle with. And you know, I try to keep what happened to me on the it was in my living room. Well, not my living room. I wasn't living with Katie at the time. It was her living room. And I was laying on the couch, and like I said, I had maybe a flash in the pan millisecond with Jesus Christ's experience around me, which I believe to be his experience, because I don't understand how an angel could overwhelm you that hard. But I could be wrong. It may have been an angelic experience. Maybe Christ sent one of his messengers here to give me that experience, and then build me up for, you know, the actual experience with him, which I didn't have yet that I'm aware of, but I'd like to have. But anyways, it was overwhelming, very overwhelming. I don't know how anybody could be in the presence of the, you know, the God Almighty, Jesus Christ himself, and live to tell about it. It'd be hard, because that experience, if I would have had to spend even just one more second with him, feel like I probably would have died. Might not have been a bad thing. I may have went to heaven. I don't know, but it was overwhelming. I'd love to experience it again now, because I feel like I might be a little more prepared for it than I was back then. I could be wrong, but you know, it's something that I strive for. Hopefully you do as well. And you know, so ultimately, that's where I stand on UFOs and extraterrestrial life form. Howard Storm told me what he told me about it. I've never experienced it myself. Ultimately, I hope I never do, if they're bad beings that come to this planet, because who would want to experience that? But I like to read about it, and I hope that you do too. And God bless everybody, and I'll talk to you again.